Patrick Mahomes is great, likable, coachable, all the things you want your quarterback to be. But sorry, fawning media, sorry. In between the pom-pom wavings, we now have a pattern, a second pattern that has developed with Patrick Mahomes. Now, the first pattern is, whoo-hoo, he's really good. He is spectacular. Oh, that nobody else can do that. He is absolutely amazing. And we have written stories and done rants about that. But the protective media, they don't like criticism. Here is the second pattern that's developed. When he gets bad fast, then he loses confidence really quickly. And we've seen two stretches in the regular season in his career where he's just kind of mechanically kind of gotten off his game. I've always compared him to an artist. Sometimes, man, he gets writer's block, but he also creates masterpieces. Yesterday was a great example. It happened in a game. He was ridiculously good in the first half. He was off in the second half, and dude was broken in overtime. He'll turn it around because I've seen him do it twice, and this will be the third time. But unfortunately, there was no other game. You had to be good in overtime, and you weren't. But the NFL scouting report on Mahomes was incredibly clear. Let me read it to you. Decision-making goes from bad to worse in a moment's notice. Impatient, big, confident, develop some bad habits, work in progress, high ceiling, sometimes too eager for big game hunting, unique talent, star in the making. Exactly what he is. But we've had this emergence of greatness that was so overwhelming initially that we didn't let him grow. Never forget Peyton Manning, year 4. Bad. Eli Manning, in between Super Bowls, a lot of ugly. It happens, and this is the reality. And if you look at the Super Bowl last year, speaking of from good to bad to ugly, in the second half last year, Mahomes Super Bowl, 0 TDs, 2 picks, sacked 3 times, 49 passer rating, 56%. He went from not very good to awful fast. Yesterday, second half overtime, 44% completion percentage, 0 TDs, 2 picks, passer rating at 12, and sacked 4 times. And again, he's the artist, and it's okay, and he'll be fine, and it'll get better. But we now have two things, and we'd seen these with Josh Allen, and we embraced them more quickly because he wasn't great initially. What did I say about Josh Allen? You get a lot of jagged edges, and Mahomes is a more refined Josh Allen. But now we also we're seeing the jagged edges with Mahomes. And maybe this is just the reality, part and parcel of what you get with a great artist at quarterback. I always said that about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's the greatest artist ever play basketball. He came down 90% of the time, the canvas was open, and Kobe was going to create a shot. There were games Kobe decided when he was injured, I'm going to shoot left-handed. And with that, there were years Kobe shot too much, and there were years he drove Shaq crazy, and you just have to, enjoy the greatness. It's not perfect. Even great artists have bad albums. But there were excuses last year when the Mahomes struggled. They lost their offensive line. This was on Patrick. He lost his fastball. Live, overtime, second half. It's okay. Going to have a great career. Already had one. Some people say you could vote him into the Hall of Fame, but it is part of it now. Media, less fawning, more reality. And the reality is sometimes he goes into slumps. And he was a little off in the second half. He was broken in overtime, and Burrow wasn't. I was watching Burrow yesterday, and I was thinking about this, is that, when I was younger in the 60s, 70s, 80s, most quarterbacks kind of looked and played a lot. They were all bigger than average men, 6'2.5", 6'3", sat in the pocket, not terribly athletic. And then John Elway came around, and you're like, he could have been a baseball player. He could have been a quarterback. He was running around, big, strong, cannon arm. And then, then I saw Warren Moon when I was a kid growing up in 1974, 75, University of Washington, and Warren's running around. And you're like, all right, that's different. But by and large, most quarterbacks, it always felt the same, right? Like Brady and Montana, and, you'd get the occasional Steve Young. But now it's crazy. They're all the young quarterback. Kyler Murray's the little guy running around, and Josh Allen's as big as a defensive end, and he's making throws. And Mahomes is kind of the occasionally broken but great artist. And then Justin Herbert's more mechanical, but he's big, strong, 6'6", can move. And Lamar Jackson runs like a wide receiver. Big, small, fast, stoic, they're all different. And they're all new. And it's hard to find comps for them. And there's Joe Burrow. And to me, at least, he feels so old school. The cigars and the glasses and the coat make him feel like Joe Namath. The cocky edge makes him feel like Jim McMahon. The it factor makes him feel like Brady. And even statistically in the playoffs, it reads like Joe Montana. In his 3 playoff games, his passer rating's a 96, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. I mean, it is good. It ain't blowing you away. And what I like about all of Burrow is I see like 7 comps for him. And a lot of these people, I mean, the only comp for Kyler is Russell Wilson, and he's kind of a new style quarterback over the last 10 years. But Burrow feels like a lot of old school stuff. You know, athletes used to be a little more authentic and cockier on the podium, and then social media happened, and you become memes, and you get ripped, so everybody scales back, and he's kind of old school cigar. He's got the jacket. He looks like Namath. And it's like, oh, that's just kind of Joe Namath, and he's cocky like McMahon, and he's got the it, and his stats kind of sometimes look like Joe Montana. And in a world of new and fresh and unique, he's not really that. But what he is, I mean, last week we said, you know, this one obstacle for Mahomes is going to be Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen can make the throws, Mahomes can, and is big and is fast. And the obstacle may be this guy. I mean, this Bengals roster, y'all get, it's in a rebuild. Like, I picked him for 4th. So did almost everybody in the world outside of Cincinnati. So he's got a feel for the game, an old school look, an old school podium personality. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.